What's up, brother? I'm a representative of the werewolf, Michael Chan's brother. We listened to the last episode of the Hellbound Podcast, brother, and we couldn't help noticing, brother, that you gave some airtime to the vampire Michael Chan's brother. Now these sparkly dudes had the audacity to say that they are abolitionists and they compare themselves to us, brother. Shredded? You don't have a shred of dignity, brother! Yeah, that's right! That's wordplay, brother! Let me tell you something, brother. You vampire Michael Chans are undead, brother. That means you can't work out and get abs, brother. If you die fat, you stay fat. If you die skinny, you stay skinny, brother. Meanwhile, we werewolf Michael Chans work out, brother. We work out because do you know how much food it takes for us to be able to maintain our wolf forms? We have to eat, brother. And because we have to eat, brother, we have to work out, brother. And we're always at the gym, brother. And that's why I have one question for you, brother. Do you even lift, brother? And also, this is war, vampire Michael Chance. This is war. What you gonna do, brother? What you gonna do when the werewolf Michael Chance run wild on you, brother?
Welcome to the 20th episode of the Hellbound Podcast.
Whoa. Where's the enthusiasm, man? This is the 20th episode of the Hellbound Podcast.
I'm Alex. I'm the founder of the Hellbound Horror Festival. And yeah, that's me.
And I'm the obnoxious Michael Chan. I am a part of the cast of Star Trek Discovery. Well, okay. I have a small role in season 4 of Star Trek Discovery, but I exist in the Star Trek universe. You can look me up on Memory Alpha. Yes, I am on Memory Alpha.
Yeah, that's the place to be. That is the place to be.
I exist, and at the start of this show, at the start of this podcast, I was a D-list actor. I think being in Star Trek officially pushes me up to C-list. I am now a C-list actor.
Superb. It is a fantastic credit.
Thank you.
I apologize for the closeness of my shot, by the way. It's because I'm actually using my wide-angle lens on a gimbal for a shoot this morning, so hence the little bit tight to frame it.
And since this is an audio-based, wow, my grammar is terrible, an audio-based show, people actually don't know that you're really close. But you see, what I get to see on my screen is this really sexy close-up shot of my co-host. Oh my god, he is delicious. Meanwhile, I have had barely any sleep because my amazing agents gave me 12 auditions to work on over the weekend, knowing full well I have a newborn and also a child with a disability. A special needs child, so we're supposed to be like not doing so many. No, it's not their fault. They're amazing. They submitted me to a whole bunch of stuff, and then I ended up getting all of them on the same day, on Friday, and I had the weekend to work on it, and I had barely any sleep. Right now, my hair is a mess, and I'm talking really fast because I just had my coffee. Alex, just take it away before I take over the show.
There's something I actually want to ask you about, and this is kind of an insider for non-actors or people that aren't in that space that you are. What's the mental fatigue like when you're auditioning for things like that, where you've got where your energy has to be completely different between, say, different auditions? What's that like?
Okay, so I'm going to start by every actor is different. All of our processes and how we drop into characters and all that are different. I am an actor with 16 years of experience, so the way I started out, mind you, is very different from where I am now. So where I am now is I'm the type of actor that can mostly easily drop into a character with some level of preparation. I can come up with backstory, I can build a character very quickly, and then I can just be myself, I can goof around, and when they say action, I switch into the character quite easily. Unless the scene is really intense, at which point, I would take a little bit of a moment before I switch in, but it's still not like a lengthy process. Like I have friends who need time, and that's okay. Like everyone is different. When it comes to auditions, now I normally don't get so many all at once. And again, like this isn't live auditions anymore because of the pandemic. So these are self tapes. I get to do it at home. But when you have 12 and when you're like me and you have like, 2 kids, again, one of whom is a newborn, I only have a limited amount of time at night when my other kid is asleep and my newborn is sort of asleep or feeding to actually do my stuff. And my wife, Jess, is my reader. So, that usually my reader. I occasionally get actor friends to do it, but Jess is like really, really good. So, and I think she's part of the reason why I book, because she's such a good reader. But anyways, it is very tiring to switch. Like Saturday night, I did 7 of my 12, and I did it within a span of an hour and a half.
Wow,
that's a lot to do in an hour and a half, to switch into 7 different people. That said, I had done some mental preparation throughout the day. I had read the scripts. I had come up with an adequate backstory for every single character, so that by the time I got into my basement studio to actually record with my wife, I just I take the script, embody the character, and just put it on camera. Most of my auditions that day took about 2 to 3 recordings, 2 to 3 takes, and I was done. So that's where I'm at, but it is very tiring. Like by the time I'm done, because I also have to edit and all that and send them in, I only had enough energy left to send. I would of the 7, I sent 5 before I just couldn't work anymore. So it is tiring, especially to jump into so many characters, but it's doable. And the next day, yesterday, which was Sunday, I mean, as of recording, so we are recording not on a Wednesday. I had to finish the other ones, and I didn't get much sleep the night before, so I was extra tired. So by the time I was done recording the other ones, oh my goodness, and I still had to submit because like they were due today. So I ended up just like nodding off at my computer. But I always nod off if I'm that tired, like because you have to upload the videos online. It's like 100-200 megabytes, so the time it takes to upload, I nod off and I set an alarm just in case. It's like, okay, this is going to take about 5 minutes to upload since my internet sucks, so okay, here's an alarm for 5 minutes. Like I'm dozing, and then it's like beep beep beep, oh, it's done.
Well, that's really interesting. It's like, it's something obviously I'd never see before, but just to know where your energy is, because no matter what form of production, whether it's pre, post, or even planning a shoot, it's just it takes so much out of you. I've got this huge project coming up soon. It's for my Joe job, and I'm dedicating pretty much a whole working day at home tomorrow to it, because there's multiple people, there's so many different people involved, and they're relying on your planning or my planning to get that right. And it's really interesting to hear your process, and because I can only guess at how much time you have to do these things in terms of family and everything, and Jess and your 2 awesome kids. And then you've got to really carve that time out, and you want to do a great job. You want to make sure you do your due diligence. And so it's really fascinating, Mike, to find out that process.
So in filmmaking, now that I am a filmmaker as well, my best friend Katisha Shaw and I, we always say, fix it in prep. What that means is because I always hear that people go, we'll fix it in post. No, you won't. No, you won't. That's going to cost you. That's a bad mentality. Fix it in prep. But that filmmaking idea, both of us actually apply to our work as actors, because the more prepared you are, at least mentally, the better you will do. Now, here's the thing, because lines are, there's a lot of memorization, or we don't call it that. We call it learning our lines, because it's not just memorization. But the preparation, at least for me, is more on the character. right? So it's not like I'll sit there all day and have my head buried in my lines. Instead, I read my lines maybe once, twice, put them down. I know the character because I'm given something called a breakdown, which is a description of the character and what they're looking for. From there, I start building the character, build a backstory. You know, usually sides or scripts are very short for auditions. So from there, you have to, as an actor, have to come up with everything based on what they give you. And it might not be 100% accurate because, you know, it might not be fully what their story is, but you don't know what their story is.
Yeah, exactly.
Not fully. So by doing, you know, work, you're making choices about who this character is going to be. And sometimes you create two characters too, right? Because sometimes you might want to give them a range, so you give them two different versions. But it's that preparation, it's that mental preparation of a character or more than one character that allows you, by the time you get to, at least for me, by the time I get to camera, you know, I work on my lines a bit with my wife for the learning of the lines part of it, but the character is there so that the lines, when I say them, they make sense. Because if another character says, you know, their line to me, it makes sense what I'm going to say back to them.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's within my character and it's within the story. Which makes then learning what the lines actually are a lot easier too. So I can do it quickly.
Oh, that's fascinating, Mike.
And now imagine pre-pandemic when we had to go in person. I think the most I ever done in one day was 3 auditions, just because, you know, you have to drive into the city, or some people have to like take the bus, and then you have to like do one audition. I mean, there's waiting time in the, you know, waiting room, and then you have to like immediately like try to like travel to the next location. So you can't do 7 in a day, obviously.
Yeah.
And that was nerve-wracking. That was hard back then. But now it's like, well, I mean, it's on your own time, so, you know, you can do 1 million, right? Let's talk about a movie from 2020 called The Rental. Has a Rotten Tomatoes score of 74%, had Internet Movie Database score of 5.7 out of 10, and a Google user rating of 63%. And the director is Dave Franco. And also stars a whole bunch of people, including Alison Brie, who I believe is married to Dave Franco, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
Right? Okay, so here we go. So it seems that my wife and I have watched a bunch of these like Airbnb cabin /
I was thinking, yeah, I had deja vu about this, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. That's because we did. It's just... so this is another one of these, like, so it's about, okay, I'm just gonna read the description. 2 couples on an oceanside getaway grow suspicious that the host of their seemingly perfect rental house may be spying on them. Before long, what should have been a celebratory weekend trip turns into something far more sinister. And, I mean, that gives most of the things away. So yes, 2 couples go to Airbnb or rental or whatever, and the host is suspicious, and that leads to horror stuff. Acting wise, the acting is good, especially like, dude, you have Alison Brie, of course it's going to be good.
Dan Stevens as well.
Pardon me?
Dan Stevens from
yes,
Downton Abbey and such like.
oh yes. He's from Downton Abbey. I forgot about that. I thought he looked familiar. But here's my thing. Why? Okay, there's actually 2 things. First of all, the movie is incredibly predictable and not in a good way. Just like super predictable. Right from the opening scene, you are, and I won't spoil it unless you want to watch it. Because if you want to watch it, although I'm going to tell you not to, but if you want to watch it, it's basically you start seeing where things are going to go awry. Not the horror sense, but where the tension in the story is going to come from right from the beginning. And then once they get to the cottage, oh no, actually no, even before they get to the cottage or the rental, there are already issues with the owner.
Yeah.
So that by the time they're there, you're already like, dude, okay, come on, we know where this is going. And of course, then it just gets predictable. It gets stupid. People make dumb decisions. And there are mysteries that, quite frankly, they're not mysteries. It's pretty obvious what it is. And then, of course, they had to bring a dog, at which point you already figured that, oh, look, there's a pet. And at some point, it's either going to die or there's going to be a threat to its life to try to garner sympathy, which it does. And then the killing starts.
It sounds horrific. Even the way you've broken it down, it just sounds terrible.
I'm disappointed, and I'm giving up on Airbnb movies because of the 2 movies I've seen. Superhost and this, that's it. I'm done. No more Airbnb films for my wife and I. Because, yeah, I mean, the ending is dumb. Decisions are dumb. I sympathized only with one character, and they did her dirty. And all the other characters, I didn't give a crap about.
Yeah.
I gave a crap more about the dog than anything else. And again, it's just super mega. The only saving grace of this film is it's the ending. So after everything is over, like during the credits, they show a bunch of like little scenes here and there of stuff happening, and that is intriguing. That is the most intriguing part of this. When your end credit stuff is more intriguing than your entire film and makes me go, I kind of want to know more about that. I don't really care about the film, but what you're showing me in the credits, can you make a film about that? I might watch it if it's good, because that's good.
It has got a really good leading cast, actually, because
which is tragic.
I was looking at some of the screenshots from the film. Toby Huss, he's in a lot of horror. He's in *Halt and Catch Fire*. Absolutely brilliant actor. And
like I said, the acting was great, and with $3.4 million budget, of course the film's going to look good.
Yeah.
Directing choices, cinematography choices, all very good. It's always it comes down to the writing again.
Yeah. Dave Franco wrote it. And
he co-wrote it and then directed it. Well, Dave, I'm sorry. Yeah, this movie sucked. So not recommended, people. Yeah.
What was it? What is it about the original? Was it the kind of Airbnb, quote unquote Airbnb idea that drew you into these films recently?
Yes, I just wanted to see what people can do with this concept of Airbnbs and their hosts, because there are in the real world a lot of horror stories about Airbnbs. I'll give you one. Yay, horror, real life horror. So I have, I'm trying to, because I'm a realtor, I have to be conscious of privacy. How do I say it? Okay, so I have a client who rented out their condo. So they rent out their condos through me, but not all of them, because some of them were done prior to me meeting them. So this one I'm going to talk about has nothing to do with me. This condo that's in their possession, that was rented out to somebody who ended up basically kind of like not like doing something that's against their contract, and rented their place out as an Airbnb, like put it on an Airbnb.
Okay.
Now, what ended up happening was so 2 people ended up staying at the Airbnb. And I don't know how this happened or why this, but basically they rented out each room individually of this multi-bedroomed apartment on Airbnb.
Yeah.
And 2 of the people there who don't know each other, but were staying there at the same time, did not get along. And eventually a fight broke out to the point where a TV was thrown across the condo. The fight spilled out into the hallway, somehow got itself into an elevator, got down to the lobby, and then the 2 of them fought their way through the lobby and ended up like smashing a whole bunch of like art and one of the TV monitors, and security had to like call the cops.
Oh, that's just horrific.
Now, for me, when I was having this described to me by my poor client, thank God this is not one of my deals. I was imagining like a pro wrestling match, because how the hell do you fight your way inside a condo, out into a hallway, all the way to an elevator, somehow press the down button, get into the elevator, there's nobody else there, and you're fighting as the elevator goes down, the door opens, you fight your way out the elevator, down the hallway, to the lobby, and then all around the lobby and destroy stuff. This is literally a wrestling match.
Yeah, it sounds like blocking for an action movie. That's what it sounds
right?
like.
But this is real life. This is real life. That's a horror story, and also a pretty funny story, but a horror story nonetheless. Now, obviously, it's the reverse, right? It's not the owner who is the bad person, but dude, there are so many other like owner-based horror stories, right? As well, like some owners spying on people, which is where this movie comes from. You have owners who are invasive. Yeah. I've heard a lot about that.
I'm going to recommend something to you. Now, it's not quite Airbnb. This is way before that.
Please, because I think this 2 weeks in a row that I've told people not to watch something. So please tell people what to watch this weekend.
I'm going to write, based on Michael's terrible viewing recently, I'm going to recommend a film called Pacific Heights from 1990. And it stars Melanie Griffith, Matthew Modine, and the fantastic Michael Keaton. And it's also directed by John Schlesinger, who did Marathon Man and Midnight Cowboy. Now, this film, Pacific Heights, I'll just read the sentence from IMDb. It's about a couple that are hardworking and they're renovating their dream house and become landlords to pay for it. Unfortunately, one of their tenants has plans of his own. And it's kind of I'd say it's a horror thriller, but leaning towards the horror, the thriller elements. A fantastic movie. And if the both of us can watch it again or watch it by next week, that'll be great. If not, we'll kind of come back to this in a couple of weeks. But I'd highly recommend Pacific Heights for anyone that's renovating their house and thinking about renting part of it out or a room. And how do you vet the people? How do you vet? If that system's not in place to do all the kind of checking on people, if you trust someone and you put an ad in the newspaper like this couple do, how do you know who's really staying in your house? So I'd highly recommend Pacific Heights. I haven't seen this for many years, but it is a fantastic turn by Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton, when he plays a darker character, is absolutely brilliant. I think he's a brilliant actor.
He's just amazing.
Yeah.
I love him. Does he have an Oscar or any big award? Because I think he's like totally underrated.
Maybe for Birdman. Maybe nominated.
Did he actually
Birdman?
win it though?
No,
right? I think he got beat up. See, that's sad. He deserves something. He really does. He's so good. I love Michael Keaton.
This film's also got Tippi Hedren from The Birds, an actor called Mako. Is that right? Toshiro Watanabe.
Mako, dude. Oh,
yeah, legend.
He was. I think the last movie he did was he voiced Splinter from one of the animated Ninja Turtle movies.
Oh, this has also got Laurie Metcalf as well. That's an amazing actress from Scream, Toy Story, Lady Bird, all sorts of stuff, and probably most famously Roseanne as well. So she's in that too. So that's Pacific Heights. I'd highly, highly recommend that movie.
I am booked to work on a upcoming TV show. It's a big deal. Can't really talk about it, but it's very diverse. It's a LGBTQ story. And also urban fantasy, so there is a horror element to it, which is great. I've always wanted to be in something like that. I will be performing with my very good friend Ginny Wong, who was one of my co-stars in my own film, The Only Asian. She's a fantastic.
She's great,
actor. She's wonderful, and to be able to work with her is just a dream come true on a major production, not my own film, because like I can put her in all of my stuff, but there's something special when someone else is like yeah, we want you two to work together. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I would like to put it out there, manifest something though. I want to be booked in something with my bestie, Katisha Shaw, because I think the two of us have the kind of on-screen chemistry that would make any characters who end up in the same scene absolutely fire with each other. Like, we could be enemies, we could be friends, we could even not know each other, and everything will be great, you know? But yes, let's put that out there. Come on, producers, get Kat and I together on screen.
I love your the work the two of you do, the fun you have on TikTok.
On TikTok?
When you're, is it being detectives or something?
Oh, right. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna advertise that. So, Kat and I play detectives Chan and Shaw in a TikTok series called Chan and Shaw. So it's an offshoot of, because I tell dad jokes. So if you guys like dad jokes, look me up on TikTok. It's at Michael CW Chan. I tell dad jokes every other day. I try to do it every other day. It's just with a newborn, it's been harder. Every other day I do dad jokes, and then in between I do like skits and stuff. So Chan and Shaw is kind of like a parody of CSI, but it's like the opening of an episode of CSI. Each one of our skits is an opening of an episode of CSI, so that Chan and Shaw show up, to investigate a case. Usually Shaw describes like who the victim is, and then Chan, that's me, makes a pun about it, puts on sunglasses, and then you have the theme song hit. And we've done quite a few of these, and more are coming. So I highly recommend checking out my TikTok, because like Kat and I are just incredible together as Chan and Shaw. To finish off the episode today, I want to talk about some, I consider this horror, and I think I'm going to categorize it as weird / horror / funny products. So Facebook keeps advertising a product that you can buy on a website called Sugoi Mart, which is where you can buy stuff that's like imported from Japan, especially toys. And the thing they're advertising to me is a set of blind box toys or mini statues called Beefy Birds Gashapon. Oh, here we go. So basically, it's these very disturbing figures of birds who are made to look like with human bodies, and they're all super muscular, like bodybuilder muscular. The like bird that is like the at the center of the image that they keep popping up is a chicken, but it's not even like an adult chick. It's like a baby chick with like muscles everywhere, holding a bowl of ramen for no apparent reason. There's also like, I'm pretty sure that's a duck. There's an ostrich. There's a robin, and I don't know what that last bird. They're all like muscular, and it's very disturbing. And so I went on their website just to see like, what the heck is this? And like, I jumped down the rabbit hole of some kind of weird internet obsession with taking animals and Pokemon and making them grotesquely muscular and semi sort of sexual. Now, if you go on Sugoi Mart, there's also King of Animals Gashapon, which are now like muscular mammals, so but also in fighting poses. So you have like a bodybuilder panda, bodybuilder boxing kangaroo, bodybuilder cat in a Ryu from Street Fighter outfit, bodybuilder whatever that's, I think that's a dog. And prepare to be amused and disturbed. You'll be entertained and also get nightmares. This is the kind of real life toy horror that just
is this on 18 plus?
It's not, I mean, it's not 18 plus, but I don't know if kids should be buying these.
Yeah, this is a little. The bowl of ramen is random.
I don't understand a bowl of ramen. Why is the chick holding a ramen and there's
Oh
an
my
egg
God.
in there? There's an that's like his cousin or something. Please follow us on Instagram. We are at the Hellbound Podcast. If you have cosplay, makeup, music videos, anything horror you would like to have featured on our social media, please send us a private message on Instagram. If you have recommendations for TV shows or movies that you would like us to watch and talk about, also private message us on Instagram. And that is, again, at the Hellbound Podcast. Finally, if you like what you're listening to, please consider subscribing or following us on your podcast app. And if there's the option to give us a review, please give us a 5-star, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, whatever rating system they have. Give us top scores, top marks, make us A+ students. I'm Asian. I would like some A+. So yeah, give us the best of the best so that we can be featured on the front page of these apps or platforms and therefore get more viewers and then be able to produce more for all of you. Help us out. Thank you, and harness the darkness.